Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Look, we're very happy to welcome Gonzalo to Atlanta United. I think at this time in our club's history, we feel he's a great fit for our club and we're excited to have a long-term commitment in place. Gonzalo is a coach who comes from a successful club in Seattle. He knows the league, he understands the league's complexities, and that's going to be invaluable to us in this transition mid-season. He stands out to us not only for his commitment to his players, his playing philosophy, his experience as an elite player and as a coach, but as a solid cultural fit for our club. He's a family man, he's dedicated to the sport and his craft, he's known as a motivator and an advocate for his players. And we have confidence that this team has what it takes to make a playoff run this season. And Gonzalo does as well. Now we've got half a season left and we're all going to work hard to get above the line. And as you all know, the great thing about MLS compared to other leagues is that you just need to get in the playoffs and anything's possible. And as to timing, Gonzalo will give you some more details in his comments, but the plan is for him to arrive in Atlanta next week and to take training on Thursday. In the meantime, Valentino will take the team for Sunday and Wednesday's matches. With that, I'll hand over to Carlos.
Thanks, Darren. To echo what Darren said, during the process, we knew he was the man for the job. Along with his playing experience, stepping into a role with the Seattle Sounders for the past 5 years as a part of their coaching staff, they've enjoyed their fair share of success during his time there. We feel very confident that Gonzalo is going to step into the role with his knowledge of the MLS, his knowledge of the league, the player pool, the type of person he is that we got to know over the past few weeks during this process. We're very excited for him to come in and lead the club and lead this team. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Gonzalo Pineda as our next head coach in Atlanta United history.
Hello, everyone. I would like to say thank you all for the opportunity. I'm massively happy for being here. It's such a dream to be in a club like Atlanta United. Thank you, obviously, to Arthur, Steve, Carlos, Darren. I mean, the process has been fantastic. The connection with the leadership and the values of the club inspired me to be a better person, inspired me to be a better coach, and obviously a better leader in the community of Atlanta. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to allow me to bring my family to Atlanta and join you, all the fans, and join you in the community. I would like to take a moment to thank Seattle Sounders, just because I've been there for a long time. I feel like it went too fast, and I just want to take a few moments to say thank you to the fans, thank you for the ownership group, to the front office, to the players for just making me a better coach, and obviously to the coaching staff, Brian Smitzer, Jimmy Traore, Tom Dutra, Preki, and all the supporting staff. They've been fantastic with me, and I want to take that opportunity. I want to address a couple of things. I want to let you all know that I wasn't able to attend on the bench against Tigres on last game for Seattle Sounders on Tuesday because I tested positive right before the game, just when I arrived to the stadium. And that's the reasoning behind. The plan wasn't like that, believe me. And I will be, as Darren said, joining the team next week. Once I'm clear, I'm healthy, and I don't put anyone at risk here, my family or in the community. Again, I'm very happy to work with the whole system that Darren and Carlos have in place in Atlanta. What I've seen is outstanding. It's a great system. It's not like I'm going to come in and change a lot of things. They already have very good people, very good guys that are willing to take this team to the best potential. And one of that people is Rob Valentino, which I'm very grateful to have him in my coaching staff. I'm grateful in the way he approached this situation, which I can assure you is not easy for him and for anyone. But he's going to stay in my coaching staff, and I'm very happy for it because he has a very good connection with the players, and he's going to help the players a lot on and off the field. I'm going to bring with me Diego de la Torre, my assistant coach. He will be the only one for the moment. He's a guy with a lot of experience, more than 13 years career playing in Mexico, a lot of tactical knowledge, which is kind of his main role. And maybe in the future I will be bringing another one, but I have to see how this operates in this system. And again, the players, it's a very, very talented group of players. I'm thrilled to coach them. I'm eager to try to be next to them and just help them to improve as a players, individually, collectively. And I'm just looking forward to the opportunity to be on the field with them.
Thanks, Gonzalo. As a reminder, we're going to take English questions first. After about 15 minutes or so, I'll open up to Spanish questions. We'll start here with Doug Robertson from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Doug, go ahead.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Carlos. And it's nice to meet you, Gonzalo. This is for Darren and Carlos. Just based upon the resume, this is a different pivot for y'all in terms of a manager search. Can you explain why you've elected to go with a coach, talented coach, but who doesn't have any head coach experience per se?
Hi, Doug. Yeah, great question. Look, I think with any hire, there's always going to be an element of risk. I think when we spoke with Gonzalo and we looked at the attributes he had, so somebody that's been a player in the league, has been a coach at a top club. And again, I just want to shout out my thanks to Seattle, a class club who were brilliant to deal with when we were looking to talk to Gonzalo. And, you know, they've had a great culture. They've had a success for a long period of time. So this is someone in Gonzalo that knows the league, knows the sort of idiosyncrasies of this league. He's someone that could come in mid-season and be able to help us in that transition, because he hasn't got to get up to speed about the league and all the various challenges that presents. But also, this wasn't a quick fix, Doug. This was something where we wanted to try and hire someone that could be with us and could be with us long term. So, you know, we're delighted it's a long-term commitment. And I think, you know, in that sense, you speak about a pivot. I think we're at a different sense in our history now. We're coming into our 5th season. You know, we had, as you know, straight out of the gate, our first 3 seasons were incredible in terms of the trophies and success that we had. But, you know, we need now to get back to that level that we expect of Atlanta United. And so in Gonzalo, we saw the attributes that was going to be the perfect fit for us. And I think the top factor for us was the quality of the individual. And Gonzalo mentioned about meeting with myself, Carlos. We met with Steve Cannon, with Arthur Blank. This was really important to us, that the values of the leader of our club were there, because he's not only a coach on the pitch, and of course we all want that success on the pitch. That's top priority. We want to get the wins, we want to get the trophies, we want to play in a style that is on the front foot that we expect from Atlanta United. And of course, as you all know, we're greedy at Atlanta United. We don't just set the bar at trophies, we want to play in a certain style as well. But it's totally an utmost importance is their character. And I think, you know, Gonzalo, with his values, it matches with the values of our organization. Because, you know, it's not just about on the pitch, it's about off the pitch. It's about connecting with the community. It's about putting the fans first. It's about, you know, youth development. You know, we've seen great success with George Bello, but we want to continue that pipeline. So there's a number of aspects, a number of factors. And when we weighed that all up, we were just delighted to be able to get Gonzalo.
Next question, we'll go to Felipe Cardenas. Felipe, go ahead.
Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon, Darren, Carlos, and Gonzalo. This question is for Darren, and just a follow-up to Gonzalo, if that's okay. Darren, you know, I think the fans and I'm sure you as well in the club are looking for stability right now at this club. If you count the interim managers, you know, Gonzalo becomes the 6th coach that's been on the touchline for Atlanta United in 5 years. You mentioned the midseason transition. Is that part of perhaps a long-term plan to stabilize the club, stabilize the culture from a coaching perspective? And why, other than what you've already said, why do you feel like Gonzalo Pineda is the person to do that at this present time?
Yeah, hi, Felipe. Yeah, I think stability, obviously, it's something that ultimately every club looks for. And I think, you know, you talked about our history. Obviously, we've had great success out the gate, but there has been some turnover. So I think for us, we felt that, you know, in particular mid-season where we were, we had a squad of players that we believe in, that when we were talking with Gonzalo, and you heard him speak, and I'm sure he'll speak later to this, that he believes in. So this is a squad that we really believe can be doing better than we see at the moment in terms of where we are at the table. But we felt like with Gonzalo, we had that chance for the stability, Felipe, that you spoke about. I think, for us, ideally here, we spoke about there's always an element of risk, and Gonzalo's never done that head coaching job. But from speaking to players that he's worked with, when you speak to the people that he's been around, when you look at the success that Seattle have had and the part that Gonzalo's played in that, we feel he's someone that can be very successful in Major League Soccer. And we feel really successful here in Atlanta because, again, I spoke about the values, about it not just being on the pitch, but off the pitch. And I think, Gonzalo understands that. He gets the importance of the fans. He gets that we are here, in a league that's still growing, where we're trying to grow the league. So the importance of the media. So all of those aspects that goes into being a manager, to be successful in Major League Soccer, we feel that Gonzalo ticks all those boxes.
Thank you. And then Gonzalo, muchísimo gusto. Un placer. Bienvenido a Atlanta. My question for you is, you're coming in mid-season. You're the head coach now at this club, one of the biggest clubs in MLS. How much change do you plan to introduce, in establishing yourself, establishing your plan, establishing your authority within the group for a group of players that's gone through a lot of change?
Yeah, thank you, Felipe. Nice to meet you too. I think that has something to do with the question you did to Darren and Carlos. And I would say something, because I think there are two things. One is to stabilize a club, and one is to stabilize a team. And what I've seen from just meetings and communication with people around the club, I think the club is stable. I see a whole system that is in place. The academies, they are very good. You can see in George Bell one of the best examples. Wolf, yesterday we were thrilled with the game in the second division. Last goal in the last minute. Good culture, not surrendering ever. Wolf being in the team of the week recently. For me, that is continuing. So that part is stable. When I have the meetings with the coaching staff that is in place now, they are all eager to learn or eager to help the players. Everyone in the club is stable. And sometimes when the connection with the coach and the players is not there, it looks like a mess, but it is not. It's just, I just need to come in and try to settle down things, try to stabilize. Yes, the players, they are all in place. They are just focused on what they have to do on the field. I help them with that. My job is to give them the tools to apply on the field at the best of their abilities. And that's my job, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I think it's related. Your question is how much change I'm gonna bring to the team. I don't think it's gonna be a massive change in terms of the culture and the ethos and the work ethic. I think they all have that. Yesterday, I had a very good meeting with the players, and they were all very good, very positive about the rest of the season. Some comments about, making playoffs and winning again. And I can see a group of players that is there with a lot of potential. So I don't have to come and change a lot of things, especially because Valentino is doing a fantastic job in bringing back the energy to the team. And I think, yes, of course, I will have to see and adjust and see what I can bring to the table for the players. But I would say that my main concern is the mental aspect of the players. And after that, their talent is gonna perform on the field.
Next question, Jeff Carlisle. Jeff, go ahead. Your line's open.
Thank you. Jeff Carlisle here with ESPN.com. My question is for Gonzalo. You mentioned Rob Valentino a few times just in your opening comments. And I was wondering if you could expand on the degree to which you think you're going to lean on Rob, given the amount of knowledge that he has about the club, the players, kind of the ethos of the club as well. I mean, how much do you anticipate leaning on Rob?
A lot. I mean, the quick answer is a lot. When you watch the last game, and this is the one I look at very closely against Columbus, and you look at the team that hasn't been, with good results and a little bit not super confident, and you see the passion the players put in place and winning against the champion team, playing away, a very good team. You can see that Rob is doing a fantastic job, and that connection with the players is something that he's going to help me a lot. And the other thing is, I don't have tags on my assistants. I don't have a first assistant, a second assistant, or a fifth. Everyone are assistants, and everyone is there with a clear role to help the players and help the club. But Rob is going to help me in some ways. I have to talk to him to know, a little bit his transition from head coach to assistant. But obviously, I'm going to rely a lot in Rob's experience, because he's the one with most experience out of that coaching staff with the players. And I'm going to rely a lot in Rob Valentino, because he deserves it. He's been great with me. He's been great with the players. And that's fantastic.
Next question, we'll go to Joe Patrick. Joe, go ahead. Your line's up.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for taking the time, and good to meet you, Gonzalo. I'm Joe Patrick with 92.9 The Game, local radio station here in town. I wanted to ask you, just when you engaged in this interview process, what did Darren and Carlos kind of tell you that settled your mind in terms of this being the right fit for you to come take this step?
Well, I don't think they have to say anything special. I mean, when you are offered Atlanta United, I mean, you go for it. I mean, it's a young club, because they've been here just for a short period of time in MLS, but they already won many trophies. They were successful since the very beginning. They have had fantastic players. They have now a fantastic group of players. They have a fantastic stadium, great fans, which is one of the main things I was bummed to join the club, is because of the fans. The stadium, the training facilities, again, is a whole package with Atlanta United that is attractive for, I would say, many coaches, not just in MLS, but in the world. So I don't remember anything. Maybe Carlos or Darren can remind me, but I cannot remember anything special that thrilled me. I was already looking forward to that opportunity, and it was like that.
Next question, Allison Mastrangelo from WSB. Allison, go ahead.
Hey, Coach Gonzalo, Allison Mastrangelo with WSB. Welcome to the A. We haven't had a chance to see your head coaching style. So just for those fans and for those of us that haven't seen that yet, what can we expect to see from your team on the pitch?
Well, first and foremost, passion, playing with passion, playing with intensity. I want a team that represents the fans. And that's the connection I want to build around the philosophy, the game model. The first thing, I want the players to play with passion. I want them to play when they were playing in academies and it was all about love for the jersey. I want that passion first and foremost. That is a must, and that is a given for the team. After that, obviously, we will have to work in organization, whether it's attacking, defending. I don't want to explain all my game plan now because probably you don't have time enough, but I want to play same as the club has been trying to play, attacking-minded football, and obviously try to be always on the front foot, always being the team that tries to create more chances and better chances than the opponent. But again, before that is the passion and playing with energy, same as the fans on the standings. We have to match that energy on the field and create that special connection.
Next up, we'll go to Steve Hummer. Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, Darren, I'm just curious about how difficult it's been for you to have the last couple of hires not work. I'm sure you'd agree we've had too many of these kind of press conferences lately. And how do you see this one working better, I guess, than the last two?
Yeah, hi, Steve. Thanks. Yeah, and look, I think obviously we're here now in circumstances where we're excited that Gonzalo's here. And we talk about the past, Steve, and you and I could argue on Frank. I mean, I'll still talk about 2019, where, that was the most points ever from defending champions. We won 2 trophies. Our first 2 hires are the top 10 all-time MLS coaches. So if Gonzalo could be a third person that makes the top 10 in a league that's been going for 26 years, then I think we'll all be pretty pleased. But I think you're right. Ultimately, I feel a little bit, and I'll sort of go to my Cambridge University days. I feel like King Lear, the fool said to King Lear, have more than you show and speak less than you know. I think at this stage now, I'm very confident in Gonzalo that we've got a coach that that is going to be a great fit for us, but ultimately it's going to be about what happens now. So in that respect, I'm excited about it, but ultimately I accept it, Steve. We've now got to show that on the pitch over the coming seasons.
I'm going to go to Charles Odom with the Associated Press. Charles, go ahead. Your line's open. Charles, if you can hear me, your line's open. Looks like you're muted on your end.
Sorry about that. Gonzalo, I wanted to follow up on you testing positive. You sound like you're doing well, and I hope you are, but I presume the interview process had already started when you tested positive. And so how awkward was that for this to come up right in the middle of a very important time for you?
Yeah, well, I cannot tell you enough how awkward is this situation for me, but well, it happens. We are living in this world. It's probably a good reminder for everyone to take care of themselves and to get vaccinated, because I'm fully vaccinated and I have less chances to have a bad COVID situation. But anyways, it's awkward for everyone. But again, in football, in life, in any part of the world, there are tough situations, there are difficult situations, and it's how you overcome these situations, trying to control what you can control. And all I can control is just staying safe here, try to talk to people through Zoom meetings, try to communicate with the whole club, try to already starting to create connections, talking to the players, talking to Rob, and just handle the situation at the best of my abilities. Is it awkward? Yes, but obviously it is what it is, and I have to deal with that.
Next question will go to Tom Bogert. Tom, go ahead.
Thanks, guys. Tom Bogert, MLSsoccer.com. Kind of a quick one, probably for Carlos would be best position to answer before one for Gonzalo. I guess I just kind of wanted to ask Carlos, was there any compensation that you guys had to send to Seattle as part of this process to hire Gonzalo?
Hey, Tom, that stuff is dealt with at the ownership level. And you know, what's been great, Seattle was really good about this process. Reached out to Garth early on and just let him know we wanted to speak to Gonzalo. And then, you know, they were great. And in this league, as has happened to us, you know, Lucy Rushton was, you know, our head of analytical scouting. DC came in for her and asked her to be the GM, and it's a great opportunity. So I think the biggest thing is we're a league, we're all working together. We're trying to raise the profile, and look, for us to get the top assistant in the MLS, they knew it, we knew it, and I think it was a good fit. So it's a feather in the cap for Seattle, definitely for Brian, who I know highly regards, Gonzalo. And it's a great opportunity for Gonzalo and also for us.
Tom, did you have one for Coach?
Yep, real quick. Thank you. And thanks, Carlos. Gonzalo, I know it's obviously just been a couple days here or whatever, but what are your first thoughts on the squad? You know, what are the strengths and how do you kind of see adding, you know, Luis Araujo to, you know, some of the other talents that are already on the team?
Well, yeah, very, very good question. I think, again, that's one of the multiple reasons why I was attracted by the opportunity is the talented I can see in the field. I mean, I don't want to bring names and stuff because probably it's disrespectful, but all I can say is we faced them. We faced with Seattle, Atlanta before in this year. And it was a fantastic performance by Atlanta. I felt that they played very well that day, and I was impressed by some of the young, talented players that are new in the system, that didn't know the MLS and went to one of the best stadiums like CenturyLink and perform at the level they perform. So I saw not just talented young players, but obviously a group of players that have the right mentality, that are good at playing in adversity. And that game told me everything I had to know about the players. Obviously, the club did a great job on signing a very good player from Europe, Luis Araujo, which I already watched a couple games from him, and I know exactly how he might fit into what I'm thinking tactically and in terms of movements. He's an inverted winger, left-footed inverted winger playing on the right, very talented, a skillful player, fast. And I think he's going to be massively important for the success, not just now, but in the future. And I hope we can work together and incorporate in the transition to the team and just play at the best of his abilities.
Next question, Sydney Hunt. Sydney, go ahead.
Thanks, Chris. Good afternoon, Coach. Welcome to Atlanta, first of all. What's one of the main things that you have learned from Brian Smitzer during your time up in Seattle?
Yeah, I have no starting point there because Brian is a fantastic mentor for me. I think I learned many things on the field, but the most important values that he provides to me are off the field. Is how he treats people, how he thinks in the human before he thinks in the soccer player. I think he's a fantastic manager. He's always calm. He's always controlling what he can control. He doesn't lose his mind very often. He's a guy that understands the league. He understands the processes in a long season and where to put players in place to perform at the best of their abilities and try to get consistency in the right part of the year. So a lot of lessons. I mean, a lot of lessons. And thank you for the question, because that gave me a little bit of opportunity to say, Brian, you're the best, and you will always be my mentor, and you will always be very important in my development as a coach.
Next one, we'll go to Jada Evans, Seattle Times. Jada, go ahead. Your line's open.
Great, thank you. Congratulations, Gonzo, on the position. And I guess I want to expand a little bit on that, give you more opportunity to praise Brian, I guess, in a sense. Can you talk a little bit about the environment and how that was, how that helped you reach this stage? And then you mentioned that Atlanta, you go for it as far as the club to join. So was this a club that you were holding out for, in a sense, to take this step to become a head coach?
Well, yes. First of all, Brian, again, was very important. I understand how to manage players, staff, front office, ownership group. So I learned a lot from Brian. And yes, this is a job where I was thinking that I can transfer a little bit of the things that Brian taught me, but also my essence, because I have my own personality. I have my own way to run things. I have my own ideas, but I just try to put a couple of those from Brian that can help me to be a better coach. And I would like also to take the opportunity to reward the rest of the coaching staff, because they all been amazing. They all made me also a better coach. Jimmy Traore, fantastic guy and fantastic coach. Preki, obviously, with all his experience, and Tom Dutra, the goalkeeper coach, with all his ethics and work environment systems and codes, and they all been fantastic for me. And I think obviously Brian is the leader of that, and it's just many thanks to all of them.
Just a few more here in English. Nico Moreno. Nico, you're next. If you want to go ahead in English.
Sure, yes. I'll go in English. Gonzalo, first of all, congratulations on the job in Atlanta. Obviously, this comes with a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations. You've always been a great player, great assistant, even broadcasting, you were great. I just want to know what about your experience can perhaps help you deal with some of the expectations and pressures that come with being a head coach of a team like Atlanta United.
Yeah, thank you, Nico. A familiar face from Seattle. I will tackle that one, because it's a lot of talking about that, about the experience and all that. I would say yes, it's true. I have no experience as a head coach. I mean, that's true. But saying I don't have experience, I think is not the case. I mean, I've been preparing my whole life for this type of opportunities. I've been playing football since I was 3, and I've been playing a long career, and then I've been doing all my studies, my badges. I've been coaching in Seattle as an assistant coach for a long period of time. So I think it's not like I am new and I don't know what to do in these type of situations. Of course, I'm prepared. I feel prepared. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken this position, this fantastic job. So yes, that experience, I think, is going to help me just to manage better situations. There are always situations in all the clubs, good and bad, and you have to always try to take the best decisions out of those situations. And I think the side on the pitch, I mean, I think on the pitch, I'm going to be okay because I have great assistants and I have great players. I think on that side, we're going to be okay. So I want just to create the right environment, or maybe just see what they have already in place in terms of culture. And that I think is already good. And maybe just try to add my points and let's see if that can help the players to be successful.
Last two in English, Rob Usry, then Doug Robertson. Rob, go ahead. Your line's open.
Hi, this question is mainly for Gonzalo. In our early research into your background, we kind of discovered that you're in touch with the analytical side of the game. Have there been any discussions with the club, or maybe even plans made how the club can improve that side of the thing, and maybe improvements or maybe even additions to the staff that you've talked about?
Well, again, I think they already have a lot of things in place. I will have to go and see day by day what they have. Maybe it's even better than I expected, and I don't know. So yes, I think nowadays you have to be open to deal with analytics. I think the analysis has to be specific and based on the game model that the club and the coach and the players want to play on the field. And I think that part for me is very important, that we are all on the same page in terms of analytics, but I take a lot of analytics in terms of my game model, in terms of my methodology, tactical prioritization, loads of the players, try to be very specific on the type of days we train certain things and how to manage that through the week, through the season. So yes, I have to go and see, but I think already, again, there's a lot of good things about Atlanta already in place, that I just have to go and check how we can adjust to what I prefer. But we will see. Let's see, TBD, Rob.
And last one in English here, Doug, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Chris, but it's actually two questions for Darren and or Carlos.
Go ahead.
The first is, was there anything that you learned from hiring of Heinze or Frank that wasn't done then that you did apply this time to your vetting of Gonzalo? And second, because he's going to be here through the 2024 season, what say will he have in transfers in and out?
Hi, Doug, I'll take that one. So the second one first, because that's easy. It'll be exactly the same as it is with all our coaches. It's a collaborative effort. And obviously, myself, Carlos, Gonzalo have spoken about this a lot during the process, but, we'll take that collaborative approach as we bring players in, because, and Gonzalo knows better than a lot of people, you have a salary cap and the difficulties there are with the MLS salary cap, but ultimately we want to bring players in that are going to fit the club, going to fit what Gonzalo wants in terms of his style of play and his ideas. So that will be a collaborative effort, just as it was with all of our previous coaches. In terms of the process, Doug, I think, look, like anything in life, I think you always learn from your past experiences, good or bad. And I think that's how you grow in life. That's how you get better at anything that you're trying to do, is to try and take the learnings. I think interestingly in this case, as you know, with our last hire, it was in the middle of COVID. It was very difficult to have any in-person meetings. And it was essential this time round that we made sure that, myself, Carlos, Steve, Arthur, met with Gonzalo in person and had that chance to talk, not only about the vision for the club, but also about the values of the person, and to get to know Gonzalo himself. And it was a bit of a crazy one. I'll share a little bit of a story, because I think, Gonzalo, when he's done 20 years with us and we've won 20 MLS Cups and he goes on to Barcelona, I don't think he's ever going to have an interview like he did when we had to fly up to Alaska, take a boat and end up on Arthur's yacht to chat with Arthur, because that's where Arthur happened to be. We saw humpback whales, orcas on the way, sea otters. It was quite a surreal experience. But I think that was just a sense for that traveling gave us a real chance to get to know Gonzalo as a person. And, I've spoken about this before. That's just as important. On the pitch matters, of course, but that sort of character. Gonzalo, when he comes to join us as the head coach of Atlanta United, is also a leader of our business. And so it's really important that he espouses those values that we want, and that level of understanding that, yes, on the pitch is important, but it's what you do around outside that. And I think, you see it with the culture in Seattle. We feel we've really got a good one. So it was an interesting experience. We had a good sort of nature trip as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. We're going to switch over to Spanish questions. I'm going to hand it over to Justin to start us off on those. Justin, go ahead.
Bueno, hola Gonzalo, mucho gusto. Vamos con John Rojas para la primera pregunta. John, adelante.
Ahora sí. Justin, thank you. Gracias. Gonzalo, ¿me escuchas?
Sí, claro que sí, John.
Gonzalo, gracias por el tiempo. Si quitamos, Gonzalo, el nombre de Atlanta United, los que hemos seguido tu carrera de lejos sabemos que eres un tipo que se dedica muchísimo al fútbol, que estudia muchísimo el fútbol. ¿Por qué saltar a tu primera oportunidad como entrenador en jefe a un equipo que ha tenido problemas con los últimos 3 entrenadores, que tiene un reto con una afición que está complicada con el front office y el manejo que se ha dado al equipo, no cerca de clasificar y con problemas de clasificar, y quizás no una oportunidad en la que pudieras tener pretemporada o una ventana de transferencias y poder poner tu estampa de una manera más fácil, o por lo menos no más fácil, pero sí con más elementos desde la llegada?
Sí, bueno, gracias John por tu pregunta, porque me da la oportunidad de decir algunas cosas, ¿no? Que de repente de afuera se pueden hablar muchas cosas, de afuera se pueden decir muchas cosas de lo que pasa dentro de un club, y que si tuvieron problemas con los otros 3, yo no sé qué tantos problemas pudo haber, ¿no? Porque yo veo el paso de Tata Martino y fue completamente exitoso, y veo el paso de De Boer y ganó una final de conferencia, y veo que ganó otros títulos, y sí, a lo mejor lo de Heinze no tuvo el éxito que todos hubieran querido, pero así pasa en todos los clubes en el mundo. Todos los mejores clubes en el mundo han tenido momentos donde, bueno, pues la conexión con buenísimos entrenadores no sucede con los jugadores y no se dan los resultados, pero eso es normal en el fútbol. Lo que pasa es que Atlanta nos acostumbró a estar arriba desde el principio, y todo lo que es menos que eso pareciera un fracaso, ¿no? Pero no lo es así. Yo creo que Atlanta ha hecho muchas cosas bien. Algo que me atrajo mucho, contestando a tu pregunta, ¿por qué? Porque la conexión con Darren y con Carlos ha sido extraordinaria. Creo que hemos conectado de una manera personal, donde creo que no va a haber secretos, no va a haber problemas. Creo que va a ser una relación honesta, una relación profesional, y sobre todo que me va a ayudar a ser mejor como entrenador, porque los dos tienen grandísima experiencia. Darren tiene una gran experiencia ya en clubes en Europa, y Carlos, con toda su experiencia como jugador, jugó en Europa, conoce a muchísimos jugadores en el mundo, conoce a mucha gente, y seguramente su visión también me ayudará a ser mejor. Entonces, de repente de afuera se pintan cosas, y cuando las cosas no van bien en la cancha, itenciendo que hay rumores y que hay muchas cosas, pero decirte que desde el primer momento lo que más me atrajo fue que todo está en lugar para poder tener éxito. Creo que no hay excusas en ese sentido. Tienen una gran afición, un gran estadio, unas grandísimas instalaciones deportivas, un gran staff. Grandísimos jugadores, jóvenes, con entusiasmo, con energía, con mucho talento. Mucho del talento que viene de Sudamérica es joven, es atractivo, están deseosos de triunfar. No puedo entender una mejor situación para tomar mi primer trabajo.
La próxima pregunta a Héctor Tello de ESPN.
Gracias. Gonzalo, el reto para ti, no eres el primer mexicano en dirigir en esta liga, pero sí el más joven. Muchos están apostando, muchos técnicos jóvenes mexicanos por oportunidades en Europa, ir a estudiar, a prepararse, y buscan abrir camino en ligas, divisiones menores allá en España, pero hoy parece que con esta oportunidad también abre la perspectiva que en la MLS también pueden hacer carrera los técnicos mexicanos como tú, que se preparan, que estudian, como en un momento fue en Centroamérica, que encontraban oportunidad. Esto abre perspectiva para los técnicos jóvenes mexicanos?
Bueno, no sé qué tanto abrirá la perspectiva, creo que dependerá también un poco de cómo me vaya. Creo que este es solo el primer paso, llegar a tener esta grande oportunidad, y para mí es ahora solo aprovecharla, dar resultados, dar emociones a la afición, que eso es muy importante. A veces preguntan qué es el éxito, y para mí esa conexión con la afición, esos momentos donde la afición conecta y se siente representada al 100% con sus jugadores, eso para mí es éxito, y ese momento es invaluable. Eso no paga nada, no hay dinero que lo compre, no hay patrocinios, no hay nada. Esa conexión con la gente es única, y es algo en lo que me quiero enfocar muchísimo. Y dependerá, yo creo, que de eso, que pueda o no abrir puertas a una generación de entrenadores jóvenes. Creo que viene empujando en México, que como dices, muchos de ellos escucho que están estudiando en Europa, que se están preparando mucho. Con muchos de ellos tengo comunicación también, y creo que viene una buena generación que tendrá que irse abriendo también caminos. En mi caso, tuve la fortuna de jugar en esta liga, y eso de alguna manera me fue facilitando el proceso. Pero bueno, veremos mis resultados, y ojalá que pueda tener resultados muy positivos para poder atraer a más mexicanos a esta liga.
Próxima pregunta para Ariel Judas de MLS Español.
Gracias, Justin. Hola, Gonzalo. Hablabas recién de transmitir emociones y de tu conexión con el público, ahora de tu nuevo equipo de Atlanta United. ¿En qué punto pensás que puede encenderse esa conexión? ¿Clasificando el equipo a playoffs, haciendo que el equipo juegue bien y que la afición obviamente lo note y se sienta orgullosa del equipo? ¿Dónde esperás encontrar ese punto de conexión entre tu trabajo y la expectativa de los hinchas?
Sí, mira, tocaste un gran punto, porque viene un poco a cuál es el objetivo, ¿no? Este torneo. Quedan 16 partidos en el torneo, 10 de ellos son en casa, y estamos solo a 6 puntos de la línea de playoffs. Entonces, yo espero que teniendo tantos partidos en casa, el equipo se encuentre, tome esa cohesión que te da el buen resultado en Columbus, tener 2 partidos en casa y poder hacer esa conexión en estos partidos. Creo que será muy, muy importante. Y sí, obviamente, llegar a playoffs creo que nos va a dar un bálsamo de confianza en toda la organización, nos va a levantar muchísimo el ánimo, y yo creo que con ese ambiente el equipo va a ser muy peligroso en playoffs. Entonces, no me quiero adelantar, porque tenemos un partido muy importante en casa contra el LAFC ahora, pero ahí es en donde a mediano plazo me gustaría encontrar esa conexión en los últimos partidos de este torneo, donde estemos ya sea ya clasificados y peleando por un mejor lugar. Y después en playoffs creo que el equipo, con todo el apoyo de la afición, va a ser un equipo difícil de vencer, y que va a pelear por el título, por supuesto, ¿no? Entonces, ahí es en donde me imagino que el equipo tomará su mejor nivel.
Próxima pregunta para Fernando Ceballos.
Hola, Gonzalo, enhorabuena y felicidades por esta primera experiencia, ¿no? Como técnico. Retomando un poco lo que hablabas de los técnicos mexicanos, yo no quería hablar de los jóvenes, sino tú hiciste tu carrera aquí desde que te retiraste, llevas desde el 2017 siendo auxiliar, has hecho carrera en la MLS y has visto el crecimiento de esta liga, y decides seguir aquí tu carrera como técnico. ¿Crees que el técnico mexicano hoy no ha llegado a MLS porque siguen un poco subestimando la liga, o siguen creyendo que está un nivel abajo de la Liga MX, o por qué le ha costado tanto al técnico mexicano llegar a la MLS? ¿Cuál es tu panorama?
Mira, la verdad es que es difícil hablar por otras personas, no lo sé, no sé cuál sea la razón que haga a otros técnicos no venir a la MLS. No sé si a lo mejor, pues bueno, México es una liga también muy competitiva, pero si a mí me preguntas un poco eso de subestimar o no, te diría que lo que me ha tocado vivir en la liga, el proceso que me ha tocado vivir desde que yo llegué en 2014, hoy, 7 años después, es una liga completamente diferente, una liga sumamente competitiva, que lo vimos ayer, bueno, sí, fue ayer, con Tigres, contra Sounders, que fue un partido electrizante, que Sounders ganó uno de los mejores clubes de México. Entonces, no sé eso de subestimar, no sé por qué o no sé quién lo piense, pero en mi caso para nada. Creo que esta es una liga que está creciendo, que tiene un grandísimo potencial de crecimiento por la estructura y la solidez de los proyectos, y para mí es una liga sumamente atractiva como entrenador.
Próxima pregunta para Henry Guita.
Buenas tardes, Gonzalo. Henry Guita, Periódico Estadio. ¿Ser un técnico tan joven es una ventaja o una desventaja a la hora de manejar un vestuario que está bajo alta presión por obtener buenos resultados? Y lo segundo, para los fanáticos que van a leer esta nota, ¿cómo se define Gonzalo como técnico?
Muchas gracias, Henry. Pues bueno, ventaja o desventaja, pues yo le encuentro puras ventajas, ¿no? Yo creo que en la vida hay dos formas de ver el mundo, una positiva y una negativa. Yo le encuentro muchas ventajas porque a lo mejor pueda conectar mejor con un grupo, un plantel que es muy joven, que hoy se la vive en las redes sociales y yo entiendo las redes sociales y que ya es más analítico también, que espera a lo mejor que le entregues más datos, que eso se le meten en su cabeza y es una generación que también piensa más las cosas, a lo mejor medita más y razona más dentro de la cancha. Entonces, creo que encuentro muchas ventajas en cuanto a ser un técnico joven. Más allá de la juventud, yo creo que esto no se divide entre técnicos jóvenes o veteranos, ¿no? Esto se divide entre buenos y malos técnicos. Entonces, lo único que espero es no solo ser un técnico joven, pero un buen técnico para los jugadores, sobre todo, ¿no? Y después a los fans, ¿cómo me defino? Pues primero como persona soy un hombre de familia, trato de ser una persona con valores, responsable, respetuosa, que trata de ayudar a la comunidad. Y después en la cancha y como entrenador soy un técnico muy apasionado, me encanta la pasión, me encanta el trabajo duro y me encanta el buen fútbol. Esas tres cosas son las que me definen como entrenador.
Eric Vega, Siempre United. Adelante.
¿Qué tal, Gonzalo? Felicidades en este nuevo reto, nueva parte de tu carrera. Reconoces que Atlanta United es uno de los clubes más grandes en esta liga, a pesar de la juventud del club. ¿Sientes algún tipo de presión extra en tener éxito rápido en este club? Porque has visto lo que ha pasado con otros manejadores en su tiempo. Podemos decir que Atlanta no es un club que da mucho espacio, no da un margen de error tan grande como otros clubes tal vez. Entonces me intriga saber si sientes algún tipo de presión extra en llevar este equipo al éxito lo antes posible.
Sí, bueno, primero que nada, reconociendo, como tú bien lo dices, que Atlanta es uno de los equipos más grandes de la liga, por supuesto, a pesar de su juventud, ha demostrado que está hecho para la grandeza, ¿no? Y eso me atrae muchísimo. Después, si hay presión por esa misma grandeza y por ese mismo línea tan alta o barra tan alta que se puso en los primeros dos torneos, pues te diría que no hay presión en el sentido de que con eso convivo desde que empecé a jugar fútbol, con tratar de ganar siempre. He tenido la fortuna de jugar en equipos grandes, en Pumas, en Chivas, en Cruz Azul, en Seattle, y siempre el objetivo es salir campeón. Entonces, he convivido con este tipo de presión durante toda mi vida. Así es que una presión extra no la veo así. Yo lo tomo como una gran motivación, estar en un equipo grande que te da todos los recursos para tener éxito, porque los tengo todos, y eso para mí es lo más importante. Entonces, presión extra no la hay, al contrario, es mucha motivación y entusiasmo por conseguir lo que el club y los fans esperan de nosotros, ¿no?
Gracias.
Vale, dos preguntas más. Primero a Juan Carlos y por último a Felipe. Juan Carlos, adelante.
Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás, Gonzo? Un placer, muchas felicidades, buenas tardes a todos, Carlos, Darren, Juan Carlos Ibarrarán de W Radio, W Deportes, pues felicitarte, Gonzo, por este gran éxito, ¿no? Ya te lo merecías, eh, campeón con Seattle Sounders, una carrera limpia, una carrera pues bastante buena, ¿no? La pregunta es enfocada a los mexicanos que tienes hoy en el Atlanta United, ¿no? El tema de Jürgen Damm y del Cubo Torres, ¿no? Jürgen viene sin tener muchos minutos ahora en el Atlanta, pero bueno, ya platicaste con ellos, te entrevistaste con ellos.
Sí, gracias, Juan Carlos. Un gusto saludarte desde México. Ya hablé, digo, en general con el grupo, no he podido hablar, evidentemente estoy en cuarentena y no he podido hablar personalmente. Tampoco lo he querido tanto porque para mí es muy importante verlos a los ojos y sentirlos y tocarlos y soy muy afectivo con mis jugadores, entonces quiero tener pláticas. Te diría que no solo con los dos mexicanos que conozco perfecto, al Cubo Torres y a Jürgen Damm, con todos mis jugadores, porque una vez más yo no, como entrenador no puedo hacer distinciones entre titulares, suplentes, reservas, chavos de la academia o mexicanos, argentinos, brasileños, americanos, no puedo hacer diferencias. Yo a todos los trataré de una manera justa, con mucho cariño, porque me quiero encariñar con todos ellos, como he dejado mucho cariño en Seattle con todos mis jugadores, y me quiero encariñar con ellos, sentirlos, que pueda conectar con ellos de una manera emotiva y después tratar de organizarlos de cierta manera que todos se sientan cómodos dentro de la cancha. El caso de Jürgen, como bien dices, viene de a lo mejor no tener tantos minutos, pero es una pieza muy importante por su velocidad, que es un extremo natural que te da en transición y de repente cuando los rivales juegan una línea alta te da una ventaja tener a Jürgen. El Cubo, que sabemos que donde empieza a anotar goles es un jugador de área, que si comenzamos de repente a tener números en el área y el Cubo está ahí al lado de Joseph, creo que puede ser una pareja importante, pero como lo son todos, como lo es Ibarra, como lo es Moreno, como lo es Barco, como será Araujo, como es Sosa, Rossetto, Velo, Robinson, Lennon, Hindman que está lesionado, Adams, Walks, Campbell, Bauer, John, Guzan. Creo que tengo un plantel sumamente capaz. Y todos son muy importantes y valiosos, primero como seres humanos y después como jugadores.
Y la última pregunta a Felipe Cárdenas, The Athletic.
Thanks, Justin. Gonzalo, usted mencionó que la expectativa en general es que el equipo juegue con mucha pasión, que tenga una intensidad notable. En mi humilde opinión, o sea, pienso que eso es lo mínimo que se le debe pedir a un jugador profesional, ¿no? ¿Cuáles son sus expectativas en cada línea de juego? O sea, sin dar así un discurso largo de su filosofía, pero ¿cuáles son las expectativas a través del equipo en la cancha de juego?
Sí, primero lo dices muy bien, eso, el jugar con pasión, con energía, debería de ser algo que sea lo mínimo que se requiere, pero me gusta siempre recordar eso, ¿no? Porque a veces pasa que de repente nos centramos tanto en las cosas tácticas, en los movimientos, en si línea de 3, línea de 4, jugar con falso 9, falso lateral, el descenso del contención entre centrales, jugar con el lateral invertido. O sea, podemos aquí hablar de muchas cosas que suenan muy bonitas, pero si no existe esa entrega, esa pasión y esa dedicación de los jugadores, todo lo demás, la verdad, sale sobrando, ¿no? Entonces, a mí siempre me gusta recordar esa parte porque es algo que para mí es muy importante. Me forjé en Pumas y los que conocen a Pumas saben que Pumas es pasión y es energía y es correr más que todos. Después, obviamente, me gusta el juego posicional. Me gusta muchísimo que desde atrás se comiencen a superar líneas, ya sea con superioridad posicional, superioridad numérica, superioridad cualitativa. La cualitativa es más en el último tercio, pero me gusta que por líneas comenzamos a romper líneas de manera combinativa y sin hablar de tácticas, de sin línea de 3, pues tratar de siempre generar superioridades, ¿no? Una vez que hablo de esto, pues esto es en general, ¿no? Felipe, porque entiendo tu pregunta, que hablamos ahorita de un tema general. Ahora, cuando yo llegue a Atlanta y vea a los jugadores, platique con ellos, los veo en la cancha, voy a poner ciertos ejercicios que a lo mejor los ponen en zonas incómodas, quiero ver cómo se sienten, quiero ver si les gustan ciertos movimientos y tratar de ser creativos con esas rotaciones de movimientos para generar lo que te estoy hablando. Y una vez que yo identifique la mejor estructura que le siente a los jugadores, jugaremos con esa y trataré de ser muy estable en esa. Entonces, te digo un poco a términos generales, por líneas, lo que me gusta hacer, pero esto lo iré modificando y evolucionando en el proceso. Yo siempre creo que el modelo de juego tiene que evolucionar semana con semana, incluso a veces día con día, porque encuentras ciertas características de tus jugadores que te hacen ser más creativo, ¿no? Y eso siempre ayuda. Entonces, no sé si contesté al 100 tu pregunta, Felipe.
Sí, perfecto. Gracias.
Ok.
All right, thank you, everyone. That'll conclude today's press conference. Thank you, Gonzalo, Carlos, and Darren. And we'll be sure to have a recording out this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.